Hey guys, welcome to Big Talk. I'm Bobo.
And I'm Odie, and this is our first ever podcast.
Woo!
So we don't know a whole lot what we're doing, so we're going to kind of be winging this a bit. I've done a podcast in the past. Bobo's done a podcast in the past.
I have.
But we've never done one together, and never with two people, so it's good.
I've never done one with just one other person either, so
it's gonna be an experience, to say the least. I'm gonna let Bobo introduce herself first.
Oh, yay. Okay, so hey guys, I'm Madam Wario. You might know me as a Let's Player on YouTube, more so formerly than currently, but I am an active Twitch streamer. And I do all kinds of things online. I run an Etsy store, I make art, I dance. I don't know, I'm just all over the place with my content anymore. But my history lies in LPing on YouTube.
So, I'm Odie. You might know me as OdinSpack or OdinSpack33 on YouTube. I'm more prominent as a Twitch streamer nowadays. Part of another group, Puddle Plains HD, that's more so just a friend group more than really anything else, but just do a lot of Twitch streaming of random games, stuff I grew up with, sometimes new stuff, just whatever I'm feeling at the moment, honestly, and sometimes I even stream with Bobo.
Yeah.
So you might have noticed something. We call this Big Talk. We're not really 100% on the name. So
this is because Odie asked me to come up with a name, and I couldn't come up with anything. So I was like, okay, well, let's just call it Big Talk.
To be fair, I kind of sprung this podcast on her today, like at 12 o'clock.
But we've had the idea forever, and he's finally like, oh, well, we're doing our podcast today. Come up with a name.
Yeah. Well, I came up with the outline.
You did.
All she had to do was a name, but she couldn't.
Okay, but we talked about the outline for like 2 weeks ago, and I said we should make a Google Doc, and you're like, I don't have time for that, and then today, it all came out.
Anyway, if you guys do like the name, please let us know. If you have any ideas for what we should call our podcast, also let us know as well. You can let us know that you both like the name and leave suggestions. Both are cool. Just that'll help us out because we don't really know.
We're just open to whatever. Like, we're not dead set on this name if it's like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, this is the pilot run, so it could be anything at this point. So first we're going to outline how the podcast is going to go, and the outline might change from week to week, but this is how it's going to go today. We're going to do a media spotlight where we're going to talk about some other channels and other goings-ons that aren't necessarily on YouTube or Twitch or anything like that. Just things that we're interested in and what's going on. We're going to talk about what we've been playing in terms of on our own, and possibly in the future what we're playing on our own individual channels and whatnot. But this is also just to give you an insight of what we're doing on our own, just to give you a little behind-the-scenes look.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about some gaming news today, in reference to a couple of movies, as well as a video game trailer that was announced just yesterday for a game that will be coming out next month. We'll be answering a question that we pulled not even 20 minutes probably before this podcast started from our Twitter. If you are ever interested in leaving us a question, just add us at Madam Wario or at OdinSpack. Maybe we'll have a Twitter for this in the future, who knows? But at the current moment, if you want to ask us a question for next time, we'll be answering it then.
So then that's going to be it for the outline for all that we're doing in this podcast in particular.
All right. Well, let's move on to the first thing. And I think Bobo should start this one off because she is a lot more... Not that I don't enjoy this particular media, as it were, but I'm going to let Bobo go into this first.
Okay, well, you not enjoying it is a lie.
I know.
I'm not saying
I don't, but I'm saying that you spawned this, so...
Okay, that's true.
In terms of us watching it, so...
That is true. So in our media spotlight, we kind of went back in time recently, like what, 8 years?
8 years.
Yeah, 8 years, which seems insane to me. It was that long ago. But we've been rewatching Griffin Lobster's It's the Program, and we actually finished the entire year. Like, we watched the entire year over the course of a few days. Because they're only like 3 minutes each. It was just like a vlog series that Griffin Lobster did back in the day, where he recorded a daily video that was like 3 to 5 minutes. And they're hilarious. They're awesome.
Yeah, like they're really funny. Sometimes he'll just talk about a random day. Sometimes it'll be something completely unrelated, just something he thought up for the day. And I do think it's really funny that our first topic on this podcast is about something from 8 years ago. And it's the program as well.
But it's because it's something that we've watched together recently. I guess I've been doing that a lot personally, too, is going back and watching older videos. Because they're just so much more from the past than there is now, I feel. Like, I don't know, there was a life before clickbait, and it just makes me happy.
For sure. I find it a lot easier to go back and watch a lot of older Let's Plays and videos.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't know, it might be a nostalgia thing now. It's kind of crazy you can call it nostalgia.
Right.
But, yeah, things were just done differently, and sometimes they're not 8 million years long. They're not like 30-minute videos, so... Yeah, you should... anything we discuss will, of course, if you're watching on YouTube... I don't know where you're going to be watching this on YouTube, but if you are, it'll be in the description below. But if you're listening to this in audio form, just look up It's the Program on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. It's all one word.
Yeah.
And it's super fun.
Yeah, they're like bite-sized chunks. Like, they're mostly like 3 minutes, so like it's very easy to get like, oh, just one more.
Right. It's kind of cool to go back now and watch it too, because it's almost like I mean, for us, it's more like a trip down memory lane of like, wow, what was going on back then? But then again, it just doesn't really seem that long ago. But to hear like what was actually happening right then is like, wow, really? It's so weird. It's so fun though.
Yeah. That's all I got is yeah.
So then let's go ahead and move on to our next media spotlight topic, which this is a current campaign going on, or event that happens annually on Twitch that both of us are partaking in, called St. Jude Play Live. So Odie, why don't you talk about your campaign first?
All right. So, well, just a brief outline of the campaign. So St. Jude Play Live raises money for the foundation St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which of course supports the research and well-being of children, fighting cancer and other dangerous diseases like that, deadly diseases. Mm-hmm. Me and Bobo are both doing campaigns on Twitch. I've been currently playing Tales of Symphonia, and I'm going to be playing it all the way till the end of May. And I have a goal of 5,000, which is a lot, but we've almost raised almost $200 so far as of this recording. We've raised almost $200 for it in just like a week, which is really crazy. Mm-hmm. And so I have a bunch of incentives like to mess with me in the game if you donate, and of course, like I said, all for a good cause. So if you're interested in watching a classic RPG back from like 2000, I think the game came out like 2003 or 4 or so. I think actually, you know what?
I think about right.
I think it came out 2004. So like but I'm playing an updated version of it. But if you're interested in seeing any of that, I do also stream other games randomly for it as well. But that is what I am currently doing as my part for St. Jude Play Live. So why don't you explain, Bobo, what you're doing?
So then for my part, my regular streaming schedule in general has always been Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 o'clock. So I always stream like same time twice a week. And Friday nights, for not just streaming, but my entire life, have always been dedicated to Mario Party since that came out. That's like my favorite thing to do on Friday night was I would go to the video rental store with my dad. I'd pick up Mario Party. Sometimes other games, but mostly it was always Mario Party. And then I would play that on Fridays. And so I kind of just started that tradition on Twitch. And that is part of my campaign for St. Jude, where it's kind of like Odie said, you can mess with my game if you want. You can donate to incentives such as, make me refuse a star or give me a minigame challenge. But then probably the most successful incentive I've had so far has been for Twitter. You can change my Twitter name for a day for a $10 donation. And so some really, really funny names have come out of that.
Definitely the best incentive.
Yeah. Which I'm glad, because I wanted it to be like a reachable incentive for somebody who maybe can't donate a ton but wants to be part of the campaign. But anyway, that's Friday nights, and then on Tuesday nights I play something different every time, and currently I'm playing Detective Pikachu Blind to build hype for the movie, but that'll change to other games throughout the run of Twitch Play Live. I should also mention that this campaign runs through May 31st of 2019, so it's like a month-long event. It's been going on since April 26th. So it's been a lot of fun. Personally, on my stream, we've raised about $230 so far. My goal's $1,000. Mine's not as ambitious as Odie's.
Very ambitious.
But that's good. It's all to a good cause, and it's fun to give back. And I feel like I have like all these donation goals going on like throughout the year, which I do. So it's nice to have like a solid month at least dedicated to charity, just because that's something I always want to represent with what I'm doing as well.
I guess I also forgot to mention that I stream daily at 6 p.m. Eastern, except for Thursdays. I just want to throw that out real quick because I don't think I said that.
Yeah, I don't think you gave your schedule.
I didn't really think about that. So, Bobo, why don't you tell our fine audience what you've been playing recently?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, okay, this has been kind of a challenge for a long time. I don't know why, but lately, I've really struggled. I really struggled with the Pokemon games in the sense that they make me really, really sleepy. So lately I've been trying to play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, but like I had this problem with Pokemon Ultra Sun, which is a game that I got for my birthday last year from Odie, where every time I play it I fall asleep. And so it's like not getting anywhere. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try Pokemon Let's Go Eevee instead, which has been better, but I am like probably the slowest player of Let's Go Eevee who ever lived. Like I play for like 20 minutes and then I have to like stop or I will like start to nod off again. And I love the games. This didn't happen to me when I was a kid, so I'm like, why is this happening now? So I've been attempting to play Pokemon Let's Go Eevee outside of streaming and all that. It hasn't been the most successful, but I've been trying.
I was gonna say, I think Pokemon games are just like that, because it happens to me too. Like, and I think maybe just playing it at nighttime is probably just not a good idea. RPGs in general are just like
that's the thing, though.
A slog of it. So
I play this like in the middle of the afternoon, like after I've gotten up. Like, I haven't even been playing this at night, and it still happens. Like, I don't know. I just am not... I don't know what happened. I was fine when I was little. I was able to play for, like, hours and hours on end, even in, like, long car rides. Pokemon was the best, and now I feel like I'd be out immediately. Wow. But that's really the only thing I've been playing outside of what I've been streaming.
I think it's just because you're an adult now, and games just tire you.
It's sad.
Game-itis.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Well, besides what I've been streaming, I'm kind of in the same boat where I'm kind of playing something, but not really. I was recently playing through Pokemon Coliseum, which I was playing on my own, and then it ended up turning into a stream game. So I'm kind of still working on finishing that. As well as Pokemon Pearl, which started as a stream game, but now I'm just kind of playing it on my own because I can't record it anymore. Because I used Bobo. Bobo has a 3DS capture card, I should say.
Yeah.
I shouldn't abbreviate it. A capture
the 3DS
card.
cap.
3DS cap.
Too hip to say the
I'm
whole
too
name.
hip for the full thing. But yeah, so I've actually been trying to play through all of the Pokemon generations leading up to Pokemon Sword and Shield, which comes out I don't think there's a release date, but
I don't think there's a release date either. It's probably going to be a holiday game if I had to guess, but yeah.
We'll for sure talk about that in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been wanting to play through all the Pokemon games because I love the idea of Pokemon and something I grew up with. But lately, like I try to get into like the newer ones without having finished the one before it, and it just feels like there's all these new mechanics that just overwhelm me. So I'm trying to work my way through them, and I've played through Red, Silver, and Ruby. And I decided to do Colosseum because I like that one too, even though it's a spin-off. But now I'm on Pearl, and then we'll see where I go from there. But
I've never played Diamond or Pearl. That was the generation I missed.
That was the last one that I finished, and I got that in high school. I got Diamond, but so I still have my save file from Diamond, and my sister was like, well, I don't really want my version of Pearl anymore, so she gave that to me. So that's what I've been playing, so I don't have to get rid of my old stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun, though. I've been enjoying it. I'll have something hopefully more concrete next week that'll be like, oh yeah, I've been playing this on my own.
I think for me too, like I have gotten so many new games recently, but I've been waiting to stream them the first time I play them. So I'm kind of sitting on like a pile of new games that haven't even been opened, just waiting for those streams to roll around. But you know, so there are a lot of things I want to play and a lot of new games that I have yet to play that I own, but it's just been a waiting game. And so I should have more going on in the future as well.
That's how I feel too. Like if I'm playing something, I'm like, well, I should be streaming this right now, shouldn't I? Like that's how I feel. Like this is content I could be putting out. Like I guess on my own recently I was playing a bit of Smash Bros, messing around with the stage builder, I guess. So that was something I did, but that's not, I wouldn't really call that what I'm playing right now.
Right.
Yeah. All right, well, why don't we move into the gaming news section then? So we got two big we got one big topic. The other one other one's more so for me.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know anything about this.
I gotta throw this one in for me because it's very recent and it's something that I've supported for, well, something I haven't been following, but I did support a number of years ago that's finally gonna be coming out. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about that one first and get it out of the way.
Okay.
So a trailer released yesterday for the Kickstarted game Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It's being made by the original creator of like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but I guess he's since left Konami, and he's working. It's being published by 505 Games. It's being being developed by like Way Forward, who made like Shantae, and there's two other companies too. I can't think of them off the top of my head. But anyway, the game comes out next month in June. I believe the 18th for everything except for the Switch, which it comes out a week later. But anyway, I decided to put this in because it kind of ties into the next thing we're going to talk about in the same vein a little bit. So a new trailer came out and showing all the criticism, and they actually posted all the criticism on the trailer, which is really cool. Like all the comments they got on Twitter, YouTube comments, Kickstarter, all that stuff, Steam. And then they showed off the comparison of the old graphics that they had versus the new graphics, and it's night and day. Like it looks so much better. Bobo didn't know a whole lot about this before.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it
before the stream started. But I was like, okay, well, take a look at it so you have some context.
Yeah, Odie sent me the trailer. He sent me the trailer, and I was like, wow, that really is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a kind of game I would be interested in or even play, but it is pretty wild, the difference between before and after, and it's kind of cool that they took the criticism and went with it too.
For sure, because like it shows that they're listening,
right?
And a lot of companies have been doing that kind of lately, which we'll get into. But if you haven't heard of this game at all, it's a Metroidvania style game where you kind of explore around, you get different power-ups that unlock new areas. Very gothic setting, again in the vein of Castlevania. And they also released an 8-bit prequel game that plays like the classic Castlevania games from like the NES that was called Curse of the Moon. And so you can get that on like for like $10-15 I think it is on like Switch and Well, anything really, but I just figure there's probably a Nintendo audience.
Right, yeah.
You can get it on the Switch.
Why is the Switch date, like, later?
I think there's, like, version differences probably, and... Actually, I have no idea. There's like a week difference seems... A week difference does seem really odd.
I know, because I thought that. I wondered why you put 2 dates down.
Yeah, I don't... For some reason,
like,
it releases a week later.
What?
I don't get it. I kickstarted the game way back in, like, I think it was, like, 2015. Like 2 houses ago from where I was, like, I was forever ago I kickstarted this, and I went all in. I got like this deluxe edition because I was like, oh, this will be cool. And I remember supporting it for the PS4, which I didn't even own at the time. I'm like, well, I'll have one by then.
What?
And I do, but I ended up switching it to the Switch version at some point because I had a Switch and I didn't have a PS4. So
you know, on the subject of that has happened with so many games that I've gotten where I'm like, oh, it's on PS4, I'll get it because I have one. But, like, I would so much rather prefer it on the Switch. And then, like, a year later, they're like, wow, this is coming out on Switch. And I'm like, cool. I'm glad that I don't have it on that. Yeah, so like, irritating.
Like World of Final Fantasy, the game you got the PS4.
And Crash Bandicoot and Yooka-Laylee. So irritating. I mean, then again, I didn't really get into Yooka-Laylee like I was hoping in the first place. But for Crash, I would rather have it on the Switch, I'll be honest.
Maybe you would have gotten a Yooka-Laylee if it were on Switch.
Yeah.
Maybe you would have fallen asleep to that game.
No, I swear, it's only Pokemon. I don't fall asleep to any other games. I don't get it. And I love Pokemon! I'm not saying I don't, but it's a curse.
Well, anyway, if you're interested in All in Bloodstain, check it out. It comes out next month. I'll move on. Bobo, why don't you lead us into this next topic here?
Alright, so we're going to talk about how the gaming industry is kind of going into the film industry now, which I love and I'm really excited for overall. Like, I am so hyped for Detective Pikachu, which comes out on May 10th, and I'm just, like, so excited. Like, as I said earlier, I've been streaming the game blind just to build hype for the movie and to have a little bit of insight for myself and for my personal audience so that we can kind of compare to the movie and see, you know, how closely related is the game to the movie, like what all did they pull from this. And I'll admit, the game is, like, very simple, but it's cute. So it's not like a hardcore, like, whoa, super detective game. Like, it's very, like, it's kind of dumbed down, to be real. But it is entertaining. I am having fun with it, and I'm really interested for the movie. I love the graphics of the movie and how the characters are made to be... They almost have, like, a grungy look to them, just being part of, like, real life. And I love that, and that makes me so excited. So I'm, like, beyond excited for this movie.
Yeah, the designs of the Pokemon are actually, like, really cool. Like, they don't stray at all far from their actual design. Some of them look the same. Like, they're just, like, the same, but with fur.
They're just, like, real. Yeah.
Honestly, that's the most thing. Like, that's what I'm most excited for this movie. I don't care if this movie's terrible. I'm just excited to see, like, people interacting with Pokemon on screen, like real
Me
people.
Too.
Because I wish that were always a thing. I wish there would be, like, an augmented reality. You know how, like, Pokemon Go, how you can, like, look through your phone and see them? I wish there were almost like maybe like a, not necessarily VR, but maybe like a AR headset where you could wear and you would see Pokemon wandering in real life.
That'd be so cool. I just wish they were part of real life.
Pokemon are cool, guys.
Yeah, we love Pokemon, guys.
You'll be hearing about that in a little bit, but Pokemon are pretty cool. And, but... so Detective Pikachu might be alright.
Why don't you segue us into the other movie that was just... The trailer just dropped for.
So, a teaser? I don't know if it's a teaser. That's more of an actual movie trailer.
No, I think it's like an actual trailer. I wouldn't call it a teaser.
Yeah, I would call it an actual trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog. Recently came out a number of days ago, as of this recording. And it's gotten quite the backlash, for sure, on it. And what's funny is a lot of people are, like, excited for Detective Pikachu because of how good that looks in comparison to Sonic the Hedgehog, which is funny thinking about it. But they are kind of the same idea, really.
Yeah, they really are.
I mean, I'm sure, like, in terms of the movie itself, no, but, like, having the CGI in Detective Pikachu looks, like, just...
far better.
Way better. Like, it's crazy how much better it looks.
Although, for that, I feel like for Detective Pikachu, they've got to utilize it way, way more because there are more Pokemon, whereas, like, Sonic is... not that there aren't other characters, but it's Sonic. Like, it's basically the one character.
Right, so you would think that one character would look pretty dang good, though.
Yeah.
And he don't.
No!
He does not look good. There are parts of the trailer that are fun, and it looks like it might be a fun movie, for sure.
Right. Like, I'll be honest, when I saw the trailer, like, I thought it looked really funny, but I'm also, like, I love Jim Carrey, and I didn't know anything about the movie, so I didn't know that he was playing Eggman, so, like, when I saw that, I was really excited for that, and I thought, oh my god, that's gonna be amazing, like, that's gonna be hilarious, but
I just hope that he has better lines than what's in the trailer.
Right.
He wasn't that funny in the trailer, like, at all. Like, it was very, like, okay, you're Jim Carrey.
I mean, I just love him, so I don't know.
He just didn't feel like funny Jim Carrey. He was just, like, over the top, like, Jim Carrey, which is great, but
yeah,
he didn't really feel that funny.
I don't know. I was more so, like, I saw on Twitter people were saying things like, whoa, what's this blue thing with creepy teeth and a weird face? And I was like, wait, they made him have, like, weird tiny human teeth, and, like, what is he really, like, is he supposed to be a hedgehog, or is he, like, a mutant? I don't know. It was true what people were saying.
Someone made a mock-up of the kid from Jumanji, like, when he gets turned into a monkey.
Yes.
And, like, turned him blue, and he looks pretty close to that.
Wow, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Oh, man. And Jumanji's, like, old at this point. Pretty old.
Yeah, it is.
But, so anyway, the studio, or the director behind the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, actually put out a tweet yesterday, as of this. What would have been May 2nd. And he was like, yeah, we've heard you, and we're gonna fix it. So, are they gonna completely redesign Sonic? Who knows?
I hope so. What did it say, though? It's like, gotta
fix fast.
Gotta fix fast,
yeah. Gotta fix fast.
So, I mean, at least they've heard the criticism.
For sure. It's really weird because I've heard so many, this is what I want to talk about really quick, is I've heard people discussing, like, oh, it doesn't look that bad, and then there was people hating on it, and then they got the criticism and they're changing it, but then some people are like defending like they shouldn't change it, like they should just keep, and it's like, well, what do you really want? Like,
right.
So
I think what I've gathered from the two movies is that, for me, just based on the trailers alone, the Detective Pikachu is geared towards the audience that has grown up with Pokemon that's, like, older. I feel like it's geared towards this audience that's, like, our age, more so than children. Whereas Sonic, I kind of got the impression it was, like, geared towards kids, like, to be a kids movie, to interest children in Sonic, not to be an interest for the audience that has grown up with Sonic over the past, 20 or 30 years. But that's kind of what I gathered.
But that's kind of weird, though, because, like, when you look at, like, Sonic came out in what, like, 90 or something, 90, 91. And yeah. Pokemon in Japan came out 95 and 98 here. So, like,
right.
It's kind of, it should be the same audience. Like, the tone of Detective Pikachu, it's like in a dark city. And,
exactly.
And it seems like gritty, right? So,
it
yeah,
seems
it's
like
definitely
rough around
more
the
for
edges.
adults.
And like, Pikachu's, like, gruff and has, like, addiction problems
Right.
and is kind of horny. Like, that's not really like, oh, children are gonna really get into Pokemon now because of this movie. Like, that's a different form of humor.
For sure. Pikachu says hell in the trailer.
Right. Now, when I was a kid, Pikachu would not have said that in the trailer.
No, he would have said Pika Pika.
Yeah, he would not have said that in Pikachu, the first movie.
But
Mewtwo might have.
There's definitely a lot of older Pokemon, I would say, in Detective Pikachu as well.
Yeah.
There is a lot of
There are new ones, too.
But it's weird saying, like, older as in, like, that's only Gen 1, and then newer is Gen 2 and anything else. But...
Yeah.
There's a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon in the movie, but there are other generations as well. Whereas Sonic is like, yeah, it does feel like very kids movie.
It feels like a children's movie. All right, so this brings us to our last segment today, which is the question corner. Just before the stream, like we said earlier, we tweeted that we need questions just for this very first segment. And if you guys are interested in leaving questions for the future, feel free to tweet at us at Madam Warrior or at OdinSpack. But this question comes from DemonSeal64 on Twitter, who asks, if you could have one creature in the video game world as a pet, what would it be? And I'm going to let Odin ask or answer this first because I have too many.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I haven't thought of the particulars of this, but I mean, for starters, it's going to be a Pokemon. Like, without question, it's going to be a Pokemon. That's why I was saying in the last segment, I was like, oh, we'll get into this in a minute, but we were talking about Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I think just it's going to be a Pokemon. And honestly, it would probably be something like a really big bird Pokemon, like a Pidgeot,
like
or
a
something.
big bird.
But like it would start as a Pidgey, so like it'd be like, you know, resting on my shoulder, like my faithful little like we're friends and stuff, and you know, and then eventually I could fly with it. So it would have like practicality there too. But I really like Pidgey.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you get a shiny Pidgey recently? Like
I in my Pokemon Silver playthrough recently, actually, I did get a shiny Pidgey.
I was so jealous.
It was my first catch.
It was your first catch, you know.
That inspired my all flying type run of that.
That
game,
was cool though.
It was bad.
Oh,
but,
well, it sounded cool.
it was rough. But I think Pidgey, honestly, like, I'm trying to think of other bird Pokemon. Like, yeah, there's some other cool ones from other generations. But I think Pidgey is just, like, the coolest to me. Like, I think Pidgey just has, like, cool, iconic design. And,
yeah, big
you know,
Pidge.
It'd just be cool having a bird on my shoulder. I mean, when it's a Pidgeot, not anymore. But, like, when it's a Pidgey, at least, that'd be pretty cool.
I find it funny that you're like, oh, it'd be cool to have a bird on my shoulder. But, like, you literally could have that as a pet, like, in real life.
I know, but like a Pidgeot is something that I could fly with. Like, it could take me places.
Right, that's true.
So I think it's kind of, although I guess in the anime Ash rides his, but he's also like 10, so he's a lot taller. Right. So maybe Pidgeot might not be large enough for me. Who knows?
Although Ash is like the same size as all the adults in the anime.
No, he's not.
Okay,
he's so much smaller.
Lieutenant Surge doesn't count. He's like
not
the
even
same.
Surge.
He's like
not
the
even
same
Surge.
size as Nurse Joy. Like he's like the same size.
No, he's not even close.
They make him look like a man.
Brock's not even that much taller.
Yeah, and he's
than
supposed
him.
to be
Jenny's
like older.
Officer Jenny's a lot taller than him.
Whatever. I'm just saying he doesn't look like a little 10-year-old. When I was 10, I looked like I could have passed for 7. That's what I'm saying.
He looks old, but he's still small.
He's old.
No.
Also, on that note, I just caught Pidgeotto. Like, I just encountered my first Pidgeotto on Let's Go Eevee, which tells you how far I am in the game, which is not very.
I don't know. I don't know how far that is.
I'm in Vermilion City.
Okay.
I'm about to go on the SSA.
I guess Pidgey might be kind of a lame answer now I'm thinking about it, because you could just have a bird. But no, I'm going with that.
No, I like
That's
Pidgey.
That's my answer.
I do like
and eventually
Pidgey.
be a Pidgeot, so it'll be a nice growing experience with it.
You know, I've always thought that Pidgeotto was a cooler name than Pidgeot.
I'm surprised Pidgeotto isn't the last
like
form.
that should be the last form.
It should be. Like the name makes sense. Like it adds to
I'm
it.
like, why is it the middle? I've always been confused on that my entire life. I'm like, I will never understand that, but okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have like a bunch of answers. And
no wonder you want this as the question.
Because
big animal lover Bobo here.
Because I love animals. Like, I don't think people understand how much I love animals. Like, I love animals.
The question is creature. It's not necessarily an animal.
Okay, but I know. I'm gonna get to that. So, the first thing I thought of, this is kind of dumb, but like the first thing I thought of was the flurries from Super Mario Bros. 2. Cause,
really?
Yeah, because they're so cute, and they're like little snowballs that run around and slide around, and they're just so adorable. And I was like, oh my god, that'd be so cute running around my apartment.
I don't think they're that small, though. They're like half the size of Mario.
Okay, well, just hear me out, okay? I love those. So I'd have one of those. And then I would also have a Yoshi. I would have, like, a pet, like, blue Yoshi, because that's my favorite. Like, light blue Yoshi. Light blue Yoshi. Because then I could ride him around all over town, and he could kind of fly and stuff. If he ate shells, I don't know. Anyway.
Yoshi's a good one.
I do like Yoshi. I would have, if I had a Pokemon, I'd have Jigglypuff just because that's my favorite Pokemon. Although with how much I fall asleep playing Pokemon, that might not be a good idea.
Well, Jigglypuff's gonna put you out and then draw over your face.
Yeah, I know. I'd have marker all over my face permanently, so maybe that wouldn't be good, but whatever. That's what I'm going with, because Jigglypuff is always going to be my favorite. And then I would have Rick from Kirby, because then I could ride on this big hamster, because I love hamsters. And yeah, I'll just go with those 4, because I could keep going.
Okay, the question is you have to have one.
No, I need 4. I would say I had one and, like, sneak the other 3 and be like, yeah.
Man, I only answered one. My answer seems lame now.
You knew I was gonna say more. I'm saying, like, I had, like, a realistic pet one, which was Rick, and then I had a Pokemon, dinosaur, and Flurry. Flurry's, like, the most creature-esque, but I don't know. That's my answer.
Okay. Well, thank you for the question. If you have a future question for us, please tweet either at OdinSpack or at Madam Wario. And then maybe when this podcast gets a name, we'll have one for that too. Mm-hmm. But for the current moment, if you want to ask us something in the future, if you asked one, we might use it in a future one still.
Yeah.
So we'll have a whole bunch to pull from. If we don't like anything we get from the next week, we'll pull one from the last week.
Right. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment too. Comment a question if you like.
Oh yeah, of course, for sure. And I think I don't got anything else to that. I was going to, but I can't remember. Oh yeah, you like Demon Seal 64 got his question here. But he can ask another question. We might still answer the next one. It's whatever we feel like is a good question. And we might answer more than one too. It's not like we're only gonna do one probably, because I'm sure there are questions out there that are a lot simpler than others. Right. We had some ones that were gonna be like yes and no, so we chose against those ones. But anyway, why don't we close this up? Yeah, Bobo. Yeah, why don't you tell us about your current and upcoming projects? Oh man, so like I said earlier, I'm mostly on Twitch, so Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every week. You can find me on twitch.tv/MadamWario. All of my streams get archived onto my YouTube channel, which is Madam Wario on YouTube. So you can find them there if you miss them or if that's not a time that's convenient for you. But other than that, I have a couple projects I'm working on. One I have not said anything about yet. So you're hearing it here first. I'm doing an interview series, which I'm really excited about. Whoa. And then yes. I do a lot of different just kind of random videos anymore on YouTube. So I don't necessarily have what I would call projects other than that interview series coming out. But there are other individual videos that I'm working on currently.
And I always have some segments that are linked to my Patreon account. My Patreon family always provides me with Q&A videos every month, and I do a dance video every month. You can always find me dancing to a different game song. And then I will do a random segment that's just like an idea that has been pulled from that. So a lot of what I do is more just one-off based, but as far as projects go, yeah, other than streaming, currently I'm streaming Mario Party 8 on Friday. I'm playing all kinds of different games on Tuesday all the time. And then I have my interview series coming up. So take it away, Odie. What are you working on?
Well, Bobo, I am currently streaming on Twitch all the time, which we talked about earlier. Go over to twitch.tv/OdinSpack and find me playing Tales of Symphonia every day except Thursdays at 6 p.m. And Eastern time. I gotta put that out there. 6 p.m. doesn't mean anything without context.
True.
That's what I'm doing on Twitch. You can find my streams archived on my OdinSpack stream archive, which you can YouTube search that, or you can YouTube search Cash Mode. You might find it there too. It doesn't have an official link yet because it doesn't have enough subs yet. You have to have like 100 so you can name the link.
Wow.
So it's, yeah, big lame.
That's kind of dumb.
Yeah. So I archive my stuff there. I'm actually planning on releasing some discussion videos on my YouTube, my Cash Mode series, where I just talk about random subjects. I have an E3 one planned that I'm going to talk about, because E3 is next month. You better believe we'll be talking about that on the podcast
can't believe it's so soon.
That's what I'm really excited about. But I'm going to be doing a discussion of my own on there. We're doing a video for that, as well as I have another topic I have planned for there. And I'm going to be resuming my Let's Play of Fire Emblem Sacred Stones randomizer, which is called Moonstone Randomizer, because I changed one of the characters. It's a lot of fun. If you're into Fire Emblem, if you like randomizers, I love randomizers. Like, definitely just like one of the best replayable ways to play old games through randomizing. If you haven't looked into it, look into a bunch. I recommend Link to the Past and Mario 3. But that's a whole other topic for another day. But I am planning on resuming that Let's Play. That's about it for me, YouTube and Twitch-wise. That's about it, yeah. And this!
Yay! Yeah, this!
Well, that's it for the podcast.
Yay! That's it for our first podcast, our big talk.
Our big talk. We did it.
We did it!
We did it. If you have any criticism, or any suggestions, any comments you want to tell us, anything at all, please let us know either on Twitter or in the YouTube comments. We would really appreciate that.
Right. If there's anything you'd like us to add, like a segment of something you want to hear us talk about, like, we're open to anything right now. Like, we're just establishing this, so.
Yeah, we're planning on doing
this. Let us know.
Weekly, I think we're planning on doing this weekly.
Yeah.
We haven't discussed that,
no.
but I just said it now. I just put it out there. So I like the idea of a weekly podcast. I used to do one in the past, and I definitely want to get going on it again.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I think that's about it. And again, if you have any questions for us next time, of course, again, Twitter or the YouTube comments. I'll be sure also in the future to post links to like download this if you want to download it as like an audio podcast.
Yeah.
I'll find out how to get that working. I did it in the past. I'm sure I can do it
again.
There
should be a link in the video description at least for that, so you can check that out. We'll figure that out. And
again, we'll post it. I don't know where this will be posted necessarily on YouTube, but just pay attention to our Twitter feeds for when we post it. And when we eventually get a Twitter for this, follow that as well, so you'll know when it gets uploaded, where you can download it, where you can watch it, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
For big talk.
Big talk. So ridiculous.
Anything else to add, Bobo?
I don't think so. I think that pretty much covers it. So thank you guys so much for listening to this and for joining us here, and for all of your feedback and questions or anything else that you want to provide. Thank you guys so much. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been Bobo, aka Madam Wario.
This has been Odie, aka OdinSpack.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye now.
Peace out, pimps.